In this episode of Man Talk Live, I want to get into 3 reasons why you need to stop hiding in your man cave as a man. And we're starting right now. Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to Real Men Rising YouTube channel. I'm your host, Walter Strong, where we share helpful tips to inspire men like yourself to lead by love and integrity in your homes. And so if you're new here this morning, let me know in the chat where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live. And if you're watching the replay, you know what to do. Hashtag replay in the comment section. As I said in our opening this morning, we're going to get into 3 important reasons why you need to be not hiding in your man cave as a man. And we're starting right now here on Real Men Rising YouTube channel. And so let's get into the content. Let's pull everything up. Boom. And let's get into this discussion on men hiding in their man caves. And, you know, when we as men look to create a man cave for ourselves, it's a place, a personal place where we can kind of get alone to ourselves, have a time or a moment just to kind of be to ourselves, to find entertainment, find enjoyment. We have to kind of identify that man cave where we want it to be, in that place of the home, in that place of our apartment, if you will. If it's going to be in the basement, if it's going to be outside in the garage, if it's going to be in the shed where we turn it into a man shed, if it's going to be upstairs in the attic, or even if it's going to be in a large, spacious closet where we can turn it into our own personal man cave, so that we can be able to have that time and space to ourselves. And we design it and we create it based on the different man cave ideas that we may research on YouTube. 29 ideas to design your man cave, 51 ideas to build a spacious home entertainment movie system in your man cave, where you can have the right type of sofa and couch design and positioned, so that where you're facing your home entertainment system, having your favorite jerseys from your favorite sports teams or your favorite athlete, being able to have jerseys, having maybe different logos and different memorabilia that is important to you. We design and create our man cave in various and different ways, so that way we can get the entertainment and the enjoyment. But it's important to understand as men that the man cave is only one portion of the home or the apartment that we live in. It is not the totality of where the center of our universe should revolve in, because within our home and in our apartments are our spouses, our wives, our children, our sons and our daughters, and they understand, especially on a Thursday night football or a Sunday night football or Monday night football, that's where dad is going to be. He's going to be in the man cave watching football, or watching NBA playoff basketball, or watching the Friday night boxing fights or UFC. They understand that that's the place. But guess what? When that event eventually comes to an end, that's the time that we say goodbye to our friends and we let them out the side door from the basement, if you will. We let them out the front door if we have the man cave in a certain part of the living room that the wife has designated for me and you to have, and we let them out, and then it's time to engage back with the family. But guess what? We're living in some crazy times as men, where men are dealing with a mental health crisis that we are starting to come to terms with, and we have to admit that it's affecting us. This mental health crisis is affecting us as men. And so Unfortunately, whereas our man caves were initially created for, it could be that recording studio for us to be able to create music, or to do our podcast, or now to do have our live streams for our live stream battle stations. Our man cave, unfortunately, now have become a place of escape for us to get away from things that are bothering us. We as men, we don't like dealing with pain. When we were taught as young boys growing up, that when we experience pain, unfortunately, depending on the type of dad that you had, he or male figure that you had in your life, your uncle, they would tell you, hey, pain, put some dirt on that cut, and wash that blood away and suck it up, and you can take that pain. And we were taught to suppress the pain that we're feeling with. But unfortunately, as men, when we're dealing with pain, especially with emotional and mental pain, we suppress it, and we keep it in, and we don't share with individuals that we are in pain. And so we use our man cave as a place of escape, to get away from the wife, to get away from the children, to get away from the affairs of life and the stress on the job. And our man cave now, instead of being a place of entertainment and enjoyment for that period of time, it becomes a place of escape where we stay on Madden now, 2024, playing Madden for hours, because it gives us a place of escape, because we don't want to deal with the pain that we're in. What's some examples of pain that we can be dealing with as men, especially external or internal? There could be the pain in the grieving and the loss of a loved one, of a father that has now passed away, or a father, the pain of seeing that them suffering, and we feel like we don't have anyone to talk to, and so we're dealing with this pain on the inside, and we stay in the man cave, dealing and tolerating the pain. There's a difference between dealing and resolving pain and tolerating pain. There's a difference between dealing and resolving our pain that we're dealing with versus just tolerating the pain. Too many of us as men, we go into our man caves and we simply find a place of temporary enjoyment because we just want to be able to tolerate our pain. But if we're going to be able to stop hiding in our man caves and get the help that we need, we got to be willing to come out. Another example why sometimes we are in pain is because strained relationships within the family, a strained relationship with our sons, or a strained relationship with our daughter. And because of that strained relationship, instead of us understanding, God didn't put me and you to be our children's, our sons and daughters' friends. He put us in their lives to be their parent. Now, does that mean that being their parent means that we are just going to say, this is dad's way and no other way? No, you have to be willing to understand it and establish your position as the father, but also one who is empathetic to understand that they have concerns, and you can be able to communicate. If we want our sons and daughters to be able to communicate effectively in the world with others, we have to be the example in showing them how to communicate to them, which gives them the blueprint that when there's conflict, that communication, when done effectively, can help resolve conflict. But because we're struggling in our communication with our sons and daughters, we're struggling in our communication with our wives, we hide in the man cave. We hide in our man cave because of the pain that we're dealing with. We're hiding in our man caves as men because of the silent frustration that we're dealing with. And so as a result, the man cave becomes a place of escape from pain, a place of escape because of a passing of a loved one, or a family member that's suffering, that with a terminal illness, and we're having a difficult time to coming to terms with our mother or our father that has either passed away, or we're dealing with this terminal issue. We're running to our man cave because it becomes a place of escape, because we have strained relationships with family and with our children, or it becomes a place of escape for us because of the drama and the stress that we're dealing with on the job, or the drama and the stress that we're dealing with in community or in our churches. And so as men, we have to come to terms, and we have to understand that yes, the man cave is the place where we can have enjoyment. It is the place where we can have entertainment for a period of time, but it's not the place for us to stay stuck in. It's not the place for us to remain and see it as a place of escape where we don't want to come out. You may not be a man who's never did 25 to life, locked up in a correctional state or federal prison, but have you allowed your man cave to become your personal prison? Your personal prison now, where now you're dealing with the addiction of alcohol, the addiction of prescription drugs, maybe not illegal drugs, but prescription drugs that you know that is doing damage to you, or the addiction of pornography. Have you allowed your man cave, what once you created, that attic, that basement, to become now your personal prison, your solitary confinement? It's time for you as a man to stop hiding and to come out of the man cave and face the music, face what has you in pain. It said that we as men, we don't go to the doctors, to our primary physician, as we ought, as we should, as women do, because they go for their regular physical checkups. They go for their mammograms to be able to catch early detection of possible breast cancer. But we as men, we don't go to the doctor, and so as a result, we don't go to the emergency room until the pain becomes too much to deal with. And then once we're in enough pain, once we realize now that we have to have our appendix removed, we go to the emergency room thinking it's one thing, and then now we're being rushed into surgery. That's how it is when we unfortunately don't deal with unresolved pain in our life as men, and we hide in the man cave. So it's a place of escape. It's also a place where not only are we in a place of hiding, but we're hiding from we're hiding from, as I said, our pain. We're hiding from our pain that's unresolved. Sometimes it's a place because of past childhood experiences. You know, when we were young boys, and maybe you had a tree house, and that tree house was your place of your command station. You had your Star Wars action figures, and it was the place where you could be able to launch your attack against Darth Vader and the Death Star. And then, unfortunately, Dad came home in a fit of rage and upset about things in life, and he just got into one of those moods, unfortunately, where he began to destroy and tear things up and destroying. And one day he unfortunately took that rage and that anger out on you, and then he tears down the treehouse. He tears down that favorite place of yours. And so there's unresolved pain and bitterness towards your father. And so as a result, you don't want to come out of the man cave. You don't want to come out of the man cave because it becomes a place that you run for protection. It becomes a place that you run from protection from the threats that you perceive that can bring harm to you. But as a result, now you have damaged relationships. You have a damaged relationship with your father many years later as an adult. And as a result, you hide in your man cave. But if you are going to move forward and get healed so that you don't make some of the same mistakes that dad made with you and with your siblings, so that you don't make it with your sons and daughters, you got to be willing to come out of the man cave. Yes, I get it. I get it. It also becomes a place where you can turn it to your home work office and you can work remotely from the home. I get it. I get it. But you got to eventually come out of the man cave. You can't keep ordering Uber Eats or DoorDash and not come out to sit down at the dinner table. You can't keep doing that. You got to be willing to come out of the man cave, because it's not a place of escape that you can hide and not deal with your unresolved pain. It's supposed to be a place where you can have enjoyment, a place where you can have a time of entertainment and entertaining friends. Like I said, maybe Thursday night or Sunday night football, Monday night football, where the guys get together. But eventually you all have to leave after the game is over. And you don't stay in there after the game is over because of the unresolved pain. You have, as I said, it's a place, unfortunately, too many times for men, as a place to escape, a place to hide from unresolved pain. And if we're not careful, the man cave, unfortunately, can be, if we stay in there too long, it can rob us of purpose in our life. We didn't wake up the next morning to put our feet on the floor and to have the activity of our limbs just to be confined to one place of the home for 24 hours. There is a world outside of our home that God has given us a purpose to live and experience and make an impact in the life of others. But unfortunately, too many times we as men, we hide in our man caves, and we are now being robbed of purpose, especially now in this remote work society where you can work remotely from home 3 to 5 days out of a week, or be hybrid, going into the office 2 to 3 times out of a week, and then the rest of the time you're in your man cave working remotely. And then after you're done working remotely, it becomes also your place of entertainment, because you want to watch, Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. The man cave should not be the place where we are stuck and we're hiding from the drama and the issues that we deal with as men. We got to be able to deal with these things that we're dealing with, that especially that's affecting our mental health. We got to deal with these things. And it means coming out of the man cave. Hey, if you're just joining me this morning, let me know in the chat where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live in the chat, as we're talking about 3 important reasons why it's time for me and you to come out of the man cave. And I gave some examples on, where our man caves can be, from the basement to the attic, to the garage, to the man shed, or the spacious closet. But sometimes in this new age of content creation, our man cave can be our podcast studio. Our man cave can be our live stream video battle station, where we're creating content doing lives and shorts. It becomes our own studio now where we spend so much time creating content that we are now stuck in our new technology man caves. We're so focused on getting likes and getting feedback from comments that we fail to have communication with those that live within the same roof of us outside of the man cave. But we're busy chasing likes and comments. We're busy chasing subscribers and followers in our man caves. We got to be willing to come out of the man cave. We're so consumed with our content creation being in our man caves, it affects us emotionally when we start to lose subscribers and followers. I'll let that breathe for a moment. I'll let that breathe. Hey, if you're getting value out of this discussion on 3 reasons why we need as men to stop hiding in the man cave and come out, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, click the alert notification button, and be a part of the conversation of real men that is raising the standard of manhood, not in just these times, but in the generation to come. Click that like button for me, give me a thumbs up, and share this episode of Man Talk Live. Yeah, so summary: the man cave, a place of entertainment and enjoyment, should not be a place of escape. It should not be a place where we're hiding from our pain. It should not be a place where we're allowing ourselves to be robbed of purpose. I want you to think about these three P's: place, pain, and purpose. Place, pain, and purpose. What place are you at in your life right now? And what type of pain, unresolved pain, are you dealing with that you need to deal with, but yet you're tolerating? And is this place and this pain helping you to move forward towards purpose, or is it moving you from purpose? Because even the place that we're in has a purpose. The pain that we go through even can have a purpose. And these things should be moving us forward in fulfilling that purpose, but not away from that purpose. Do you remember when you were in school and students were, making haste to get to the next class, and as the school bell rung, the principal or the teacher would say to you, "Walter, where are you supposed to be?" And that was a question that simply communicated to me and you that we were not in the place where we are supposed to be. And the bell had rung now because we were late and we were distracted by something that did not have us in the place where we're supposed to be. Have you allowed your man cave, the place where you're in at this moment, when the bell has already rung and it's time to come out, and you're allowing the unresolved pain that you're dealing with to have you in a place where you're not supposed to be? We can be just like that young little student, but now we're a grown man and we're not in the place that we're supposed to be, and we don't understand that even in our pain there is purpose. Well, that's the content this morning here on Man Talk Live. If you have any questions, do me a favor, put a Q in front of the question. If you have a comment, please share a C in front of the comment on today's topic on why we as men need to stop hiding in our man caves. This is Man Talk. So, hey, we're certainly open to your thoughts, your feedbacks, and your communication. Because each week when we go live, we want to be able to share relevant content that's relevant to you, where you are at in your relationship as a husband, as a father, and becoming a man of integrity. That's what we're here for. Well, I don't see any questions or any comments, so we're going to go ahead and bring this episode of Man Talk Live to a close. Hey, check out some of our recent content that we have here on the channel. If you are a man who's struggling with your mental health and you're trying to protect your peace because of the different things that's going on in your life, check out our recent video on how you can protect your peace as a man, so that way you can be able to keep yourself in the place where you need to be emotionally and mentally. And if you are a man who's going through a silent battle in your life, a silent battle of frustration, a silent battle of loneliness, check out our recent content on how to win the silent battles in your life as a man. So we're going to go ahead and bring this train into the station. And I want to thank each and every one of you for listening to this morning here on Man Talk Live. Share this video with that important man. If you are a woman, share this video with that important man in your life who is your husband, your father, or your son. Until the next time, hey, we'll talk to you later here on Man Talk Live.